Welcome to today's video, where we count down the top 20 World War II movies ever made. Number 1. We start with the unforgettable classic that redefined war. Films. Saving Private Ryan. This movie opens with one of the most realistic portrayals of the D-Day invasion ever put on screen. The chaos, the fear, and the brutal intensity of the landing at Omaha Beach immediately draw you into the horror of the battlefield. The story of Captain Miller and his squad searching for a missing soldier becomes a powerful exploration of sacrifice, duty, and brotherhood. The film's gritty realism and emotional depth make it a masterpiece and an essential film for anyone interested in the realities of World War II. At number 2, we have Schindler's List, a deeply emotional and haunting portrayal of the Holocaust. Based on the true story of Oskar Schindler, a businessman who saved over 1,000 Jewish lives, this film captures both the unimaginable cruelty of the Nazi regime and the extraordinary bravery of one man. The black and white cinematography gives the film a sense of historical authenticity, and the emotional performances leave an impact that lingers long after the film ends. It's not just a war movie. It's a lesson in humanity. Number 3 brings us to Life is Beautiful, a unique film that blends heartbreaking tragedy with uplifting hope. This Italian masterpiece tells the story of a father who uses humor and imagination to protect his young son from the horrors of a concentration camp. The emotional contrast between comedy and tragedy is handled beautifully, making this film one of the most touching portrayals of love and sacrifice during the war. It reminds us that even in the darkest places, love can light the way. At number 4, we have The Pianist, a gripping true story about a talented pianist trying to survive in the Warsaw Ghetto. This film captures the slow, painful collapse of a man's world as war consumes everything around him. Through moments of terror, desperation, and astonishing luck, the pianist struggles to stay alive. The quiet, emotional storytelling and incredible acting make this one of the most powerful films about civilian survival during the war. Number 5 brings us to Downfall, a chilling and intimate look at the final days of Adolf Hitler inside his bunker. This film gives viewers a close-up view of the collapse of the Nazi regime, the paranoia, the fanaticism, and the despair among its leaders. The performance of the actor portraying Hitler is widely considered one of the most accurate and intense portrayals ever filmed. It's a gripping and unsettling movie that sheds light on the final moments of a tyrant and the downfall of a dictatorship. At number 6, we have Dunkirk, a visually stunning and uniquely structured film about the evacuation of Allied soldiers from the beaches of France. Unlike traditional war films, this movie tells the same event from 3 timelines: land, sea, and air, creating a tense and immersive experience. With minimal dialogue and powerful sound design, the film captures the fear, desperation, and courage of soldiers fighting to survive against overwhelming odds. Number 7 takes us underwater with Das Boot, a masterful film about life aboard a German submarine. The claustrophobic environment, constant tension, and psychological pressure make this film one of the most intense war movies ever made. It shows a side of the war rarely explored: fear beneath the ocean, duty under pressure, and the chilling silence broken by moments of explosive danger. It's an unforgettable journey into submarine warfare. At number 8, we shift to a film that explores the brutality of the Eastern Front, Come and See. This film follows a young boy who joins a resistance group only to witness unimaginable horrors. As the war tears apart his world, his innocence fades away, replaced by a haunting understanding of cruelty and destruction. The film is raw, disturbing, and emotionally devastating, but it remains one of the most important anti-war films ever created. Number 9 brings us to The Thin Red Line, a unique and poetic exploration of the conflict in the Pacific. Instead of focusing solely on action, the film examines the emotional and psychological struggles of soldiers fighting in hostile jungles. Through reflective narration and beautiful cinematography, the movie reveals the inner battles of men, questioning the meaning of war and the value of human life. It's a very different kind of war movie, quiet, philosophical, and deeply moving. At number 10, we have Hacksaw Ridge, the incredible true story of Desmond Doss, a medic who refused to carry a weapon, yet saved dozens of lives during one of the bloodiest battles of the war. His courage, determination, and faith made him a legend. The film balances intense combat scenes with emotional storytelling, showcasing the power of conviction even in the face of violence. Number 11 brings us to Fury, a brutal and gripping film that follows a tank crew in the final days of the war. The soldiers inside the tank form a tight-knit brotherhood, facing overwhelming odds and impossible decisions. The film's gritty realism, emotional performances, and intense action make it a powerful portrayal of loyalty, sacrifice, and the brutality of war. At number 12, we explore The Imitation Game, a brilliant film about Alan Turing and the team who worked to break the German Enigma code. While not a traditional battlefield movie, it reveals the hidden intelligence war that helped turn the tide. Turing's struggle with secrecy, pressure, and personal challenges adds emotional depth to this fascinating true story. It shows how wars are fought not only with weapons, but with ideas. Coming in at number 13 is Letters from Iwo Jima, a film that tells the story of the Battle of Iwo Jima from the Japanese perspective. Instead of portraying the enemy as faceless soldiers, this movie reveals their humanity, fears, and hopeless situations. It's a rare and powerful look at the war through the eyes of those fighting for a cause they may not fully believe in. At number 14, we have The Bridge on the River Kwai, a classic film about Allied prisoners of war forced to build a massive bridge for the enemy. The story explores pride, obsession, rebellion, and the moral conflict between survival and sabotage. The film's iconic scenes and memorable characters have made it a timeless masterpiece. Number 15 takes us to the skies with Memphis Belle, a thrilling film about a bomber crew preparing for their final and most dangerous mission. The movie blends action, teamwork, fear, and determination as the crew faces overwhelming odds. It highlights the immense courage required by the airmen who risked everything in the skies above Europe. At number 16, we visit The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, a heartbreaking story seen through the eyes of a child whose innocence blinds him to the reality of the war around him. The friendship between a German boy and a Jewish prisoner reveals the cruelty of the Holocaust in a deeply emotional and tragic way. This film reminds us that war destroys not only armies, but families and friendships. Number 17 brings us to Jojo Rabbit, a unique blend of satire, comedy, and powerful emotion. The film follows a young boy who idolizes a dictator until he begins to see the truth through the eyes of a girl he's been taught to fear. Behind the humor lies a message about humanity, hatred, and the importance of thinking for oneself.